Hey guys, and welcome in to another podcast featuring myself, Eric Huber, product specialist here at TOA Electronics, and your host to the podcast, Sound Supply. How's everybody doing out there? Good, I hope. Very good, I hope. Weather's warming up, spring is in the air, and we are rocking and rolling. I got a good one this week for you guys. It's a carryover from last week, where we discussed how budgets are kind of changing throughout 2021. And I found another good article kind of driving on that whole theory or experience on how the market's changing, where the AV world's going, and what we can do to, stay on top of it and understand what's actually happening out there. Title of the article is "What My Kids Taught Me About IT." Right, this is super interesting, and I think it kind of brings everything together in terms of simplicity and where we need our minds to be during these times. She focuses on 3 key values here, and we'll get into those real quick. But before that, the article goes into this is a professional in the AV industry, and how she has an autistic child that needed flexible means of learning experiences through IT and AV, and what worked for that child, and what she saw connect in terms of how that technology was able to evolve for her child, and he ended up being very successful in learning and using AV tools and IT at the same time to be able to succeed in life, which is quite amazing, which is pretty awesome. So let me just quote the article here. "Building and managing IT networks that include AV solutions for distributed workforces has become the new normal." And we discussed this. We talked about how there's going to be flex offices, multiple locations. The single office is least likely to exist during these times, and we know that. So it goes into how IT and AV need to come together in order to succeed. And okay, we know what AV is, but when we talk about IT, information technology, I think as AV professionals, we need to understand that essentially that means connection, communication, simplicity. It's all about merging these technologies together and being able to operate and communicate over distance or over large distances. And we need to be able to work together with IT professionals as well to be able to combine these systems and make very powerful systems over a network, essentially. But she goes into how her son, before this, before the pandemic and everything changed, I guess she was doing more of a traditional type learning experience. She went to these applied behavior analysis classes, and it made her mind kind of think about what she was doing in her current workforce, and how she could use these tools and apply them to AV and IT. And it's only one page. It's very simple, and she goes into 5 key values, to break down these values that speak to IT professionals and AV professionals, and how we can work together to be able to build off that. So how do we create value and open the door to new business opportunities? And again, we need to be thinking on a larger scale. It's got to be based off of a large geographic location, work from home, work from office, multi-campus. There's so many, it depends on the business, obviously, but value number 1, simplicity and scalability. I talked about this almost every week, or I bring this up, how a system or products need to be simple for the end user and for the integrator. So simple installation and easy to use for the end user that's actually using it. So the integrator, quick drop in, boom. End user comes in, wants it to just work and be as simple as possible. Those are the products that are going to work going forward. But these products they're not simple on how they provide access or operations for that user. It's just on the UI experience. It's just much simpler. So simplicity and scalability are two large values that are going to drive this market. That's number one. Number two, or value driver number two, as she calls it, remote deployment and management. Another one that I hit on multiple times, and the direction that we're going in as a company here at TOA. Our products are going to be networked over time, and that's the direction that we're going in. We just released the A800D series, which is our new mixer amps, high-powered units that can be fully accessed and managed over a network. This is a huge step for us in that direction. You can see as a maintenance provider or an integrator, tech support, we use it every day. You can see the entire signal path going from A to B from miles and miles and miles away over a network. It's quite amazing. The time it saves, the money it saves, the speed of support. I mean, the list goes on and on. So remote deployment and management, huge factors. Going into value driver number three, I talked about this as well, is security. And I'm not talking about security for the customer, if it's if you have that security mindset where cameras and things, when you network something, when you network your business, like I said, it opens some doors to access. You're putting that on a network, and that needs to be secure. So when we're networking AV over IT, we want to make sure that those systems are secured. So please keep that in mind. Number four, business model flexibility. This goes back to value driver number one, which is simplicity and scalability. Being able to flex with a business. So when you guys offer systems, you want to be able to grow off that. So again, businesses are constantly growing and constantly changing. So you want to offer the customer a flexibility, either that be an upgrade or maybe a monthly service, some kind of a pay-as-you-go type situation, a premium model infrastructure, whatever that is. You want to make sure that that customer can be provided everything they need at that certain point and in the future going forward. So as an integrator, make sure you're offering as much as you possibly can. So the systems that you're implementing, especially if it's digital based or software based, which are always changing and always upgrading, you want to make sure your customer is aware of that. And value driver number five, something that I love and am personally interested in, and that's UX or user experience, both for the IT administrators, the people that are actually working on this gear, implementing it, setting up, programming it, and the end users. This could be graphical interfaces for programming systems that we use here at TOA for our products. And you'll see our new A800D series, the new GUI is much more cleaner, it pops. It's much more simpler to interface as opposed to our older systems. And these are getting better and better over time, as well as for the end users. So it could be graphical, it could be digital, it could be on a front panel of a unit, it could be on a keypad, it could be whatever that is. You want to make sure that experience is fluid, great, and very productive. And also, you guys are seeing this today in platforms that we use to communicate, like Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. The interfaces of these programs are just beautiful. Beautiful, simple, minimal. They get the job done. They're getting better and better over time. I mean, you log in, a month later, and it doesn't look completely different, but it just looks better, right? You're not sure what it is. It pops. It looks great. It's easy to navigate. Small changes go a long, long way. All right, guys, check this article out. I think it's super simple, super cool to keep these five value drivers, as she calls it, in the back of your minds while you're selling, integrating, setting up, talking to your customers, figuring out what they need, because these go a long way. You can dig really deep with these guys. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Happy Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. We have a podcast every single Monday releasing. Check those out. Next week, we have a webinar coming up. Be on the lookout on our LinkedIn page. For Zoom invites there. And it's a direct access. You got to sign up, put your email in there. We'll make sure we get you guys in, get you a seat. We're going to be going over our brand new VM 3000 series, a beast of a unit, mass notification, and security focused. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you next time. Be good. Take care.